Okay, my students are learning about dot plots and how to gather data and what data can show us, so I thought I would do this example with the class. The first thing that we need to do is come up with a question that we can, a statistical question that will give us numerical data. And I'm going to come up with my question, and this is for part A. And my question that I'm going to ask the students is, how old are you? Now, it's also going to be the title of my dot plot, so I'm going to go ahead and just phrase it like that. Now, I've got students in the classroom right now, and part B is simply going to be me writing down the data. Okay, students, if you want to share how old you are, raise your hand, okay? Alright, so I'm just going to go around the room then and get some. Alright, table 1, number 1, how old are you?
12.
12. Number 2? 12. Number 4? 11. Okay, let's go to table 2. How old are you? Number 2? 11. Okay, number 3? 12. Okay. How old are you? Table 3, number 1? 12. Number 2? 11. Number 3? 12. Number, and I'm going to have to maybe go down the next line. And number 4? 11. Okay. And over here, table 4, number 1? 12. Number 2? 3? 4?
I'm 11.
11. Okay. Let's go ahead and find out over here. How old are you, young man?
11.
11. Okay. And you?
12.
12. And you?
11.
11. Okay. Now, I didn't get a lot of variation in my data, and I do have more students in here than this. I'm going to pretend like those students who didn't tell me how old they are, this is going to be completely made up. I'm going to pretend like some of the kids in this classroom are 13, some of them are 10, well one's 10, and I'll put 14. Now anytime you have a statistical question, you want to get a variation. And because it's just for demonstration purposes, I went ahead and added those other ages, because I actually have kids in my classes that do fall in those age range. I had a kid in my homeroom this morning that was one of those ages. I had some of my SFA group that were some of the ages. So these are roughly the ages of the kids that I work with. Now, what I have to do is convert this to a dot plot. Now, notice that I go from 10 to 4. And since I go from 10 to 4, I'm going to use a ruler to help me on this. And I know that a ruler, like this one here, it goes with inches. I'm going to say, since I know 4 will be the range here, I'm going to start at 2 and take it to 6. I'm going to come down to here. 2, and I'm going to bring it over to 6. And I'm going to put a notch here, 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 and here. And then I can write down 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I'm going to put my title here, how old are you? And I'm going to put ages in years. And the reason I did that part was we want to always tell what our units are. And each of those numbers, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, that's how many years. That's how many years. And this is just a demonstration. Now, I can use what's already here, but I'm going to split these up just a little bit, because I've got some data that's going to be it's going to take up more of this. I'm just going to split this up a little bit. These lines are a little bit wide, this wide rule paper. Okay, so I've got 12 here, and let's see how many 12s I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 12s, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put X's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm going to see how many 11s I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can go ahead and put 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I have 13. I have 1, 2, 13s. I have 1 10. I have 1 14. So when I show my dot plot, it's very quick to see that most of the kids in my 6th grade classroom, most of the kids are 11 and 12 years old. I can see that very quickly. And that brings me to my next part, which is C, where I have to, well, this was actually C, drawing the dot plot with C. D is where I make my observation. And one of the observations that I can make in my dot plot is that most kids in the 6th grade are 11 and 12. So I can say most students in 6th grade are 11 and 12 years old. Now we've also got another part, which is E, where we have to say what is something that we do not know just by looking at the data. And one of the things that we don't know, if we just look at this data, is we don't know who is which age. We don't know which kids are 10, which are 11, 12, 13, 14. We just know we have kids that are those ages. But I can't identify just by looking at that dot plot who is which age. So that's one of the things that we don't know. So I can say we don't know which specific children match up with the ages. Okay, so that's going to be something that my students are having to do. They've already come up with their questions, and they come up with a lot better one than I did. Some of the students, they come up with things like, how many pets do you have? How many siblings do you have? How long do you play video games each day? How long do you spend outside each day? They come up with some really good questions. This one, how old are you? It's not really a good one, but just for demonstration purposes, it does at least allow me to show you what you're supposed to do. You have your question that you've already come up with. You have your data. You have your dot plots that you're going to have to create yourself, and you're going to have to come up with some good intervals. Now, I said 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 because that was what my data range was. And then I came up with my observation, and I could tell by looking at that most students in 6th grade are 11 and 12 years old. And I could also tell that something that we can't figure out just by looking at the data is we don't know which specific child matches up with which specific age. So this is just for demonstration purposes on how to do your work, and I'm going to go ahead and turn you loose to it.